Friday night's the next game. Oh no.
Exactly. What?
WrestleMania. Yeah, no, we'll be here. Bucks game is at noon. It should end about 3:30. We'll come right here, and then we got Friday night too. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, welcome to another episode of 94 Feet Podcast. It's your boy Big Zeke in the building. I'm here with my brother Dre.
Yo, what's good, people? I'm back again. I know you missed me 2 weeks ago.
All right, okay.
Wait a minute. Don't cut me off.
Dude, you coming in with the longer and longer intro. Just say, hey, what's up? It's your
So
boy
what?
Dre.
Nope.
I know y'all missed me up in the building.
Nope.
1-2-4-1-4. Here we go.
Are you done? Are you done?
I'll be asking you the same thing.
Are you done, Stewie?
Right.
Okay.
Let's
I'm
go.
good. 94 Feet Nation, I'm back, like I said.
You was here last week.
So what?
And the week before. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Keith. Hey,
What's good people? I don't even know what to even say.
It might be. We might. Our point guard is up for trade.
Point guard is up for trade?
Trade.
Look, I have no problem. I always do.
Man, we're gonna buy him out for pennies.
Hey, okay.
They're like, how much was Z's buyout? Free. Come get him. We'll drop him off to you.
Shoot, this trade gonna be worse than the Lakers trying to get rid of Russell.
We don't even want it. We don't even want it.
That's cool. And then as this team declines, man, what happened to Zeke? They gave him away.
Man,
God,
you know, Russell Westbrook. I mean, we can see if you was, Holiday or or Chris Paul.
The most disappointing of all this is Tone. You join in, Tone, and you sit here and you give Dre the gas, and he just get the car going.
So you already cheating. You already cheating on Tone anyway with that other podcast you're doing. I mean, you already you're stepping out of home.
Anyway, so how you been doing, Kesey, man? How's your week been going? The Lord's been blessing you.
Going good, man.
That's good, man.
I'm alive.
All right.
Breathing well.
Okay.
I'm blessed.
All right. Highly favored, of course. Dre, you had a lot to say. How's your week been going?
Man, week is good, man.
That's great. So,
you know what? You know what?
You got to go quick.
You know what? You see what I'm
no,
saying?
no.
You know what?
You
know what?
Really?
You know what?
Again, start with me.
If anybody wants a member of a podcast, seasoned trading, Isaiah Moore is available. He's available.
That's fine.
Get out
That's
now.
Fine. That's fine.
No, let's kick this basketball podcast on. Shout out to the Bucks for ring night. Just got to put that out there.
That's good, man. Did you get your ring?
I did. Shout out to the Bucks,
Right.
plus our kids. Shout out to my young people who was on the big screen at halftime for making it to Youth of the Year. So shout out to all of the Youth of the Years from the Boys and Girls Clubs who were able to make it on the big screen, get a ring, get acknowledged, meet the players. The Milwaukee Bucks made an incredible night for our young adults. So, shout out to the Bucks. Shout out to the Bucks for that. Shout out to the Bucks.
That's good, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to see y'all, meeting the players, getting rings, and not in Kias, and doing what these young folks been doing out here. So it's coming down to it. And more importantly, injuries are probably the most important thing of anything. Go ahead, Dre. You want to kick off the injury report?
Yeah. So again, it is very, very important and critical to watch these injuries because they do have playoff implications. So the Boston Celtics are without Jason Tatum. He is out with a right patella injury. He is listed as day-to-day. Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics is out with knee soreness, also listed as day-to-day. Brooklyn are without their sharpshooter Curry. He is out with an ankle injury day-to-day. Them Currys and them ankles, man. Mm-hmm. And Dragic rather, is out with a knee injury. He's listed as day-to-day. Golden State, obviously, without Steph Curry, I'm sorry, and James Wiseman is out for the rest of the season due to new knee injuries, and that sucks for Wiseman because he was having a pretty good year, and I think he has a contract year coming up too. So.
No, he was a rookie. This is rookie.
Is this his rookie year? Okay,
yeah, so
okay.
this is rookie year.
Okay.
It's bad because the Golden State needs the depth.
They sure do.
And it's one of those things where he was supposed to come back when Clay came back, but it didn't happen like that. So it is what it is. To start off the shoot around, we're going to talk about the mandate has officially been lifted for Kyrie Irving as of Thursday. him and unvaccinated players from the Yankees and from the New York Yankees and from the New York Mets can now play in home games. Saturday was Kyrie's first home game. He played it versus the Miami Heat. It was a preview versus the number 1 and the number 8 seed, possible number 1 and number 8 seed. Now the Nets blew him out the water, and blew him out the water.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is Kyrie and KD enough to carry the Nets past the not only the play-in tournament, but the first round of the playoffs?
No.
You want to go depth and more in depth with that? Or
Do I need to?
I mean, I think you do. I mean, because
I think the note says enough itself.
I mean, because I think that they play well. I'll say this. I think we all can agree that KD and Kyrie is nothing to play with. And now that they got rid of James Harden and they just waiting for Ben Simmons, but Ben Simmons doesn't really do anything offensively. So, but it seems like if you can get both of them in a rhythm, it could be very nasty. Now, yesterday they played, like I said, they played Miami. They blew them out. And neither one of them guys scored over 30 points. So I think that was just a kind of a one-off, but just in previous, like Kyrie himself has been on the tear in away games, averaging like 38 points a game. 150, 160. KD had a 50 points. Like, so they're and I don't think it's one of those things where you come to talent-wise. I think everybody's looking at this talent-wise. This Nets team is something dangerous. And then you add Steph Curry in there. You add Drummond for depth. They can be a pretty dangerous team.
I think you can worry about them, but at the same time, I wouldn't worry because I don't think they play together enough to have the chemistry to win the Eastern Conference, especially when you got to compete against a team like the Bucks.
I'm talking about first. Let's focus just on the first round.
First round, they probably get who? Philly.
No, first round. Well, right now it's Philly, but the thing about it is the number 1 seed is between 4 teams: Bucks, Philly, the Bucks, Philly, Heat,
Chicago.
and Boston.
Boston.
So those are the 4 teams right now that actually can get the number 1 seed. And so any of those teams, do you think they can get past?
Nobody wants to pay Brooklyn in the first round.
So you're saying they can get past any 4 of those teams?
Miami's one and done.
My only issue is, can Brooklyn get past that 7-8, that play-in tournament? That's what you got to worry about, because you can be beat easily one game compared to a whole series. So
I get that.
A team like the Cavaliers, they stand a chance. A team like the Hawks, they stand a chance in a one-game, one-on-one, basically. It's just a one and done. Can Brooklyn get through a one and done?
I see. That's the thing about it is because Kyrie now can play in home games, it doesn't matter except for one place, and that's Toronto. Now Toronto is now in the 6th spot just because Cleveland lost last night to Chicago. So Cleveland, Charlotte, and then Atlanta. So those are the 3 teams currently right now in that play-in tournament area. So
but it's changing every day.
It is changing every day.
And that's the thing, though. Like, if you Brooklyn, you don't want to play the Raptors. They the type of team that'll beat you.
Okay.
In a one-game series. In a one and done series.
So it depends. To me, it depends.
So we are literally 2 weeks away from the end of the season. Yeah. Literally, I think the last game of the season is Sunday, April 10th. And then we go into play-in tournament mode. As it stands right now, if the playoffs started today, Brooklyn would have to play. Of course, they're in play-in, and they would have to play Cleveland. Cleveland not going to beat Brooklyn in no one and done, especially if Kyrie and KD are both playing. So
why do you say that?
Well, because I think
Because their records are similar.
the records are similar, but again, the records are similar without having Kyrie for over half those games and KD being injured for a great number of those games. I think that I hope Cleveland can get out of play-in because I think Cleveland deserves to be in the playoffs. For me, if the Bucks sneak into that number one spot, I don't want to pay Brooklyn in the first round. I just don't. I think the Bucks need to use a better warm-up than that. Or another warm up, and then maybe get Brooklyn in a second. But if Brooklyn can get in the playoffs and they have to play the Miami Heat, Miami's done. Miami's done. And I think to answer Zeke's question, I think KD and Kyrie are enough to get Brooklyn past the play-in tournament and the first round. NBA Finals, I'm not 100% sure on that because Brooklyn still does have a great supporting cast. It will be tough if they're fully healthy now that Kyrie is back. It will be tough. They'll get out of the first round, but NBA playoff or NBA Finals, I'm not ready to say that yet.
So you okay, Keith? So you saying no too?
Yep.
You saying no to the first round?
They got to get through the play-in tournament first to me before I can even think about them even getting through the first round.
So you don't even think they can get through the play-in tournament?
Because they can still finish in the ninth.
I'm saying the playoffs. The playoffs were today.
But still, you got to look at it like this.
Playoffs were today. I'm not. So Toronto's out the equation. I'm talking about play-in tournaments today.
They out. I think Cleveland can beat them because they play good together. That's my only thing, though. Like Cleveland plays good together, and you got to remember they doubled their wins from last season.
They did. They did.
So that's a dramatic change for a team that wasn't even considered a playoff contending team at all. To go completely to doubling your wins.
Well, then that could just mean because Dre don't like to give those type of teams respect. But I think
that's a lie. That's a lie. Don't throw me under the bus because you trying to prove your point.
I'm not trying to prove a point, but do you? Are you? No. Hold on a second, Dre. Hold on a second, because was I not on the Cleveland train a long time ago?
You were, but they're in play-in tournament right now.
And what did I say? What did you say when I said that? Oh, they're scrubbed. They're one and done.
We was on that.
They're still one and done.
We was on that New York train too. Remember what
happened
with that?
And they suck.
Yeah. This year, I don't know. Last year, we were like, "Oh,
man, you could have said Boston. You could have said Boston, but you said Cleveland. Nobody taking them serious.
First of all, Cleveland has. I mean, not Cleveland, but the Celtics.
But ain't you the one who was saying Jared Allen? Who?
Exactly.
No, that's your line.
No, you the one who talked about Jared Allen.
You like to use it a lot.
No.
I could throw both of you under the bus with Jared Allen thing, but I just.
I wasn't.
Isn't he hurt? What are you talking about? Isn't he hurt? He's not even playing in the playoffs.
He'll be here for playoffs.
He won't.
Yeah, he will.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he will.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he will.
Okay. Look, listen, man.
Y'all gonna argue like that?
I'm just saying
Brooklyn is not afraid to play Cleveland.
Right,
and if you think Cleveland is going to be Brooklyn with Kyrie,
one game,
not with the playoffs on the line. KD gonna play 48 minutes. Kyrie gonna play 48 minutes.
I mean, you bringing me into my next point because we always talk about Giannis and LeBron has another level. KD has another level too.
Dude, KD is unstoppable in the playoffs, bro.
Kyrie is another level too. So that's what makes these guys superstars.
Man. Kyrie helped deliver the championship for LeBron, bro. Are you kidding me? He zones in during playoffs. In play-in tournament. I would like to see Cleveland in the playoffs. Absolutely. But Cleveland better hope they have to pay Brooklyn for a spot to get in there because that's going to be a disappointing, heartbreaking season. So this is what's going to happen. Because the play-in tournament this year has scrubs. Let me not say scrubs. Teams that don't. No, you know what? I was out with your new biggest fan, Big T. Shout out to Terrence Slaughter, who's on that Isaiah Moore train.
Well, I'm right. I'm right.
And it's not that you're so much right. It's just so much that you actually, you and he both like these teams that I call scrubs.
Oh,
so he likes to say, dude, you don't like, you got to give these teams some respect. I said, fine. And he also thinks that you're quite the LeBron guy and that you need to let it go.
Well, a blind man can see you need to let it go.
But anyway.
Like you need to let it go?
I don't want teams like, you see how I ignored him there? I don't want teams like Charlotte and Atlanta and Cleveland to say stuff like, well, if this was traditional format, we would have made it. So I don't want to hear it. play-in tournament was popular 2 years ago. It's still popular. I don't want Cleveland to have to pay Brooklyn because they're done if they have to play Brooklyn to get in the playoffs. I don't care what y'all saying. I'm standing by it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Gonna put some money down.
No, they ain't neither one of them my team.
I
So
got 50. I got 50. Say Cleveland beat them if they play them.
50 what?
Dollars.
50 push-ups?
$50.
You ain't betting $50 at Cleveland beat no Brooklyn.
Put it down then.
You ain't betting. I don't bet, man.
Yeah, you scared.
Yeah,
You scared.
No, we got our playoff bracket popping here. We're going to have our playoff bracket popping with the three of us and our E-producer, you know.
You don't want that easy 50?
I don't need
No,
it.
we'll
Ain't the
take it.
Bucks. Ain't the Bucks or Golden State, so I'm good.
Oh,
You said
God.
you're so confident in Brooklyn beating them.
Man, ain't got nothing to do with my money.
Put that 50 down.
Man, listen. Cleveland, Kesey wants your $50 bet. If you think Cleveland can beat Brooklyn, bet Kesey. Because
Yeah. You know
I
what?
don't even care that much.
It is up on Facebook. It up on IG.
Yeah.
Kesey want it.
What you think? You think? What do you think?
I was just gonna go. I think KD and Kyrie, those two guys can be unstoppable in the playoffs, and they do not take it to another level. I will say this about Kyrie because you brought up his past playoff resume. It's easy to be quote unquote unstoppable or to another level when you have Superman on your team. And I think Kyrie, even though his personality wouldn't let him play the Robin role, it suits him because all the attention isn't on him. Because when all the attention is on him, whether it's playoffs or a regular season, he doesn't add up. And so, this is one of those things where I think when you have an opponent, him getting out of the play-in tournament, I think will be harder than they think it will be. But if they get past if they get to that first round, I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Miami.
Oh, Miami's out of here.
I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Miami.
I'm not confident in Miami now.
Miami's.
I mean,
with all that's going on with them, I'm not confident in them right now.
Especially if they play Brooklyn.
If they got to play Brooklyn, they in for some trouble.
Especially if they got to play Brooklyn.
But Brooklyn in for some trouble too because they got some studs.
So okay, let's because we're talking about Miami, and I was just gonna move into the next topic because I don't think a lot of people, especially with the current events of them arguing in the timeout and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the,
you better leave your Donis alone.
So that's number one. Number two, the coach kind of blew it off as we talking about dinner, but I think another source, I heard another source say that he did that on purpose to fire up Jimmy because Jimmy plays best when he's antagonized.
Jimmy Butler's a bad teammate from what it looks like.
Yes.
Because I'm not understanding the whole thing. Maybe that's why.
Because they're not going to say what really happened. I mean, all we can do is hear about it from like different angles from fans and people that were close by and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people don't talk about this, but Jimmy is a bad teammate. Yeah. Because like when he was in Minnesota, it was more of the Kobe thing, like these niggas is soft and they not playing, it's practice, so they kind of joking around. And then when he was in Philadelphia, kind of the same thing. Joel Embiid ain't serious, he playing around.
Didn't he have a stint in Chicago, or am I tripping?
No, that's how he started his career off.
He started out in Chicago.
But I think him and the coach got into it in Chicago. That's what made him leave.
Tim Thibodeau.
Yeah, was it Tim? I thought it was somebody else.
Tim Thibodeau?
No, it wasn't Thibodeau. It was somebody else.
Billy Donovan?
It was a college coach.
Not Billy Donovan, because he's coaching them now.
It was a coach who was soft. And that's what his complaint was.
I think it was Fred Hamburg or was it? No.
I don't know I can't think of his name. But that was his thing. So like, people don't really talk about it, but I kind of feel like Jimmy's a bad teammate. And I also think when you have a team as talented as he has around him, or has he been around him, Jimmy goes hard, Jimmy buckets, and quote unquote, to me has been Jimmy injury, but
it was Tom Thibodeau.
It was Tom Thibodeau? Okay.
Yep. I said that.
Look, man.
We both said that.
I know that's what I'm saying, but he throwing me off. I'm like, hold on a minute. Like, then who was it? Fred
I was wrong.
What
do you want to say about it?
Nah,
you've been wrong before.
And you've been wrong a lot too.
I know. I mean, it starts with the LeBron James conversation. It goes from there. You're wrong a lot. It happens.
Yeah.
So I think
roll with a dice fan.
I think that I don't something about Jimmy attitude I don't like. And him getting into it with the coach and other teammates kind of shows it. But
that's that Miami life, man.
I
Miami
think
brought him in, made him the star, made him the centerpiece.
Jimmy's a star when he's going hard. Jimmy's a star.
Is he, or is he a role player?
I mean, that's a good question.
He couldn't do it in Philly with all those stars.
He didn't have that many stars.
He had Embiid. He had Tobias in the prime of his contract, right? They had Ben Simmons, right? Philly was loaded when Jimmy Butler was there.
Look up that roster.
Okay, Philly was loaded when Jimmy Butler was there.
Look up that roster real quick.
He was in Chicago.
What was that?
Granted, it was just 2 years ago, the year that Kawhi Leonard hit the 3 and ended their hopes.
I think.
Remember, they were. We like to say KD was a toenail away from the NBA, the Eastern Conference Finals.
That is when he hit the
Philly
shot.
was a rim away from going to the conference finals.
That was Jimmy Butler.
That was Jimmy playing with Philly.
Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
I don't know if Tobias was there though.
Tobias was clearly there because Tobias left us to go to Philly, right? Or was it Detroit? Nevertheless,
yeah,
they had Tobias. They had Joel Embiid. They had Ben Simmons. They had Jimmy Butler. Philly had a roster that was built that year to compete for a title.
Were they number 1 seed that year?
I don't remember what their seeding was, but I just remember that they were a 3-point bucket from Kawhi's turn bucket from going to the conference finals. Or was it the NBA finals? I don't remember which one it was.
It was the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. So Philly was built that year to go and have a deep playoff run. But Jimmy Butler, even there, he was a terrible teammate.
Huh?
I can't even.
Wow. You know what, Dre?
Stephen B. What you call me?
Stephen B. with the hot take.
Stephen B. So you talk about that Philadelphia roster. You had Corey Brewer, Jonah Bolden, Jimmy Butler, Wilson Chandler, Rob Covington, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Amir Johnson. They had Greg Monroe. They had JJ Redick.
You know what? You're right.
JJ Redick. That whole team was designed, bro, to win a championship.
You know what's funny about that? Dre?
That roster was stacked.
That was a stacked roster.
It was deep.
Because that was the year Mike Scott was having a good year too.
Yeah. That was a stacked roster. You are right. Because when
TJ McConnell, they all was balling that year. They had a stacked roster.
Roster that year. So Jimmy.
I wouldn't say stacked, but they had a lot of role players.
Yeah, they had a decent roster enough to compete for an NBA championship,
which they were close to. They were close, but because the
hit the shot in the corner and shattered their dreams, and
that was it.
And Joel Embiid gave us the ugly cry.
And that's when Jimmy was traded that season. I think he only played like half a season.
He played half a season with them. He got traded to Miami or something.
He didn't get traded. He got traded from Chicago to Philly, and he left Philly in free agency, right?
Yeah, he left.
He
got
Miami.
Traded to Minnesota.
He got traded from Minnesota.
To Minnesota. From Chicago.
To Minnesota, and from Minnesota to Philly, and then he went to Miami in free agency.
Yeah.
No.
But Jimmy Butler being a bad teammate, that's interesting you bring that up because Jimmy Butler he kind of stays in the background. You don't really put him up in that superstar level to me. I mean, you happy to get him because he goes hard, but as far as him connecting with his teammates, I mean, if you play hard, Jimmy mess with you. But if you don't play hard, that's when Jimmy has a quote unquote an attitude. Mm-hmm. And we like nobody knows what happened in the Miami Heat huddle, and that's fine. But you're a number 1 seed. And I don't think very little people have confidence in this Miami team.
Clearly, Jimmy wasn't doing something he was supposed to be doing in that last little section of play. I've been rewinding it back and forth trying to figure out where it happened, but
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It happened because I don't know if the coach said something, but somebody said something to him which made Haslam kind of jump in there and say something to Jimmy. And then, because first of all, Jimmy buck hard if he know who he bucking at. And if you really pay attention, he wasn't bucking too hard at Haslam. Like, hey, man, you want to whoop.
Oh, he don't want no problems with
Don't
Mr. Dane
nobody
County
want
himself.
no problem.
He don't want no problems with Mr. Dane County
They
himself.
keep him on that roster for that reason.
Yeah, don't nobody want no problem.
And I don't know if y'all watched the play. It sounded like you would have thought he was more disrespectful to Udonis than the coach. They had to hold Udonis, like, hold me back. You know how when you fight,
Udonis,
like, hold me
but
back?
people got to realize Udonis been there through the thick and the thin.
And plus, he ain't got nothing to lose. So if I beat you up, they gonna fine me and that's it.
And pay my fine.
But you know,
probably
it all goes back to, like you said, Jimmy Butler as a teammate. Jimmy quick to hop on your heels about you not doing with your part.
That's true.
On any roster he's been on.
Yeah.
So now that you're not doing your part and somebody want to hop on your heels, but he didn't want no smoke with Udonis. He didn't even go that way.
No,
he wasn't even
exactly.
look.
Oh, he actually started to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, he was calm. He was, hey, come on, man.
He started to calm down a little bit when what we call him when Uncle Haitian stepped in. He started to calm down a little bit.
He didn't want no smoke with Jimmy.
None with Udonis.
Not a drop.
But besides the Nets, do you think Miami can pull it off?
No.
Besides the Nets?
No, Miami has a tough hill to climb because right now, folks,
they're still the number 2 seed.
They're number 2, but again, we're like a game apart. Okay, if Miami becomes the 1 seed, they might play Brooklyn or they might play Cleveland, and both of you all have said Cleveland can beat Miami. I don't know if I see it.
I didn't say that.
I think you did.
I didn't say that, but all right.
If they go to the 3 seed, they would have to play Toronto, who's balling right now. If they go to the 4th seed, they'd have to play Milwaukee, who might bump to the 5. So right now, this is why basketball is so exciting. If you are a casual fan, you need to watch the rest of the NBA season because the playoff implications right now are so high. Like the Bucks losing to Memphis last night. That was a terrible loss for them to lose to Memphis without Morant going into the playoffs. We need to win every single game we're playing right now.
I don't think we need to.
I think we do.
I think we do
because right now we're in the 4th seed.
Yeah,
we want to finish.
So right, but no. Look at it like this: we in the 4th seed. Guess who we got to play first round?
Chicago.
Wouldn't you want to play Chicago?
We destroyed them last week.
Or would you want to play the Raptors or Cleveland?
I think I'm okay with the Bucks playing any of those teams.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, but I'm just saying though, if I'm the Bucks, I don't mind playing them.
If I'm the Bucks, I want to play Chicago.
If I'm the Bucks, I'll take Cleveland versus those 3.
I want home court advantage.
Exactly.
I want home court advantage.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. So I think that when we talk about Miami, they're going to have a hard time in the East. A hard time, whether first or second round, because the top 5 seeds right now are all money. Boston, Milwaukee, Chicago.
Well, let's talk about this as if the playoffs started today.
Okay,
we got Miami at the 2 seed, so Miami's going to play somebody coming out of the play-in tournament. And I'm saying, what I'm saying is, besides the Nets, do you think Miami can beat Cleveland,
yes,
Charlotte, or Atlanta?
I think they can probably beat all of those teams.
So that then you think they're coming out of the first round?
I said they're one and done if they play Brooklyn.
So if they play
if they play Brooklyn. But if it's between Cleveland, Atlanta, and Chicago, Miami can and Charlotte. Thank you. Miami can beat all those teams.
Kesey. Cool. I said if Chicago's the number 2 seed right now. We're talking about the playoffs started right now. My fault. Miami's the number 2 seed. Do you think they can beat, besides the Nets, you think they can beat Cleveland, Charlotte, or Atlanta in the first round?
Who?
Miami.
Could they beat any one of them first round?
Come on, man. Charlotte, bro, they even got 40 wins, Phil.
Dude, LaMelo is a fool with it sometimes.
And LaMelo is only him. He's a one-man show. He has no help.
No, I don't think that. I think he's mid.
He has no help.
I think he's mid.
Mid what?
Like mid. Like he's not as good as everybody talking about.
Oh, okay.
Like what?
You the one who was right.
You the one giving him Rookie of the Year, putting him in the NBA All-Star game.
No, number 1, I never gave him Rookie of the Year. I said Anthony Edwards. I said I would like to see him in the All-Star game, and I was disappointed in his performance in the All-Star game.
That's true.
Because he was playing, again, mid. Like you can do all this YouTube, all this social media stuff for the highlights, but when it comes down to wins, you're not a part of that equation.
Let me tell y'all something, 94 Feet Nation. My brothers had me going back listening to old podcasts because they get amnesia on the stupid stuff they be saying.
What?
They get amnesia.
First of all, Dre, you sent us some stuff that I was like, you sure you want to go back and look?
Yeah, go back and listen because Kesey was riding the Bucks like I said he was. You was riding Chris Middleton like I said you were. Okay, and we all said the Bucks needed to win one like I said we said. Continue on this topic though.
Okay.
Go back and listen to the vote. Go back to the vote.
It's gonna be. I don't know when. It may not be this. It might not be next week. It may not be the week after that. But one of these weeks, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna have a list. But going back to the topic, Bakisi, Cleveland, Charlotte, Atlanta, Miami, first round.
Cleveland, Charlotte.
The question is, can Miami beat any of those teams?
Cleveland, Charlotte.
This is a 7-game series.
I'm trying to picture it in my head.
7-game series.
Charlotte, Atlanta. Dude, I know.
My bad.
I'm thinking of the teams and put them to. Man, you mother.
Go ahead.
I can read.
Man. You sure?
They'll beat them. They'll beat all three of them.
Thank you.
Just thinking about, because I'm trying to just picturing in flashbacks of how they played this season. They'll beat all three of them.
All three. It won't be easy. Like Miami, whoever Miami plays, it'll probably be a 6 or 7 game series, except for Brooklyn. Brooklyn to beat them in 5.
Whoa.
Brooklyn to beat Miami in 5.
6.
Okay. I'm trying. Listen, Miami is small. There is nobody on Miami that can hold KD.
Brooklyn don't hold defense.
Brooklyn plays a little defense.
They don't hold no defense.
Nah, they're not great at it, but they play a little defense.
They don't hold no
Who
defense.
gonna hold Kyrie for Miami?
I'm not saying. Oh, but Jimmy.
Jimmy can't contain Kyrie.
Yeah, he can.
You think so?
Yeah, he can.
Well, I can't. I hope
Jimmy can what?
He can call Kyrie.
Thank you, bro. You crazy? You smoking something?
And
you drinking water?
No.
I'm gonna say it for you, Jimmy. Who?
Go back. Look, go back. Go back to yesterday's game. Yesterday's game. They didn't. I don't know how. Because I'm looking. I'm thinking Miami didn't shoot well, but Jimmy was holding Kyrie, and because Kyrie is shorter than Jimmy, and Jimmy's very physical.
Jimmy is physical.
He can put Kyrie some issues. How many points did Kyrie have yesterday? I got it right here. He had 11 points. Okay. He was 1 for 5 from the field, 4 from 11 from.
But that's not gonna happen every
4
night.
11 from the field, and he was 1 for 5 from 3-point.
That's not gonna happen every night.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen every night. I'm just saying that Jimmy can give Jimmy. Yeah, this is a good matchup. Jimmy can give Kyrie some issues.
I'll give you that.
So
he won't stop him, but
he won't stop him completely because it's a 7-game series. But I don't think Miami's gonna lose 4-1.
Okay, I'll give you 6. I'll give you 6. They're gonna lose, though.
But from my perspective,
right? You agree, right?
That what
Miami would lose to Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
All
I think Brooklyn is a little bit too much for Miami.
Yeah.
I don't have, because even if Brooklyn's not known for defense, I think that the fact that they're too small, and that, like, as far as the shooting, like a big thing about Miami is their shooting. Mm-hmm. So if you can just kind of keep them, kind of put some hands in their faces, because a lot of their shooting kind of depends on Tyler and Duncan Robertson,
who was arguably the 6th man of the year.
So if you can kind of like put some hands in their faces, kind of bump them, kind of get physical with those two guys, then you should be good to go. As far as Miami beating, I think Miami can beat Charlotte, maybe Cleveland, but I think Atlanta, matter of fact, Atlanta and Cleveland can give them some problems.
I mean, I think any of those teams,
any for
Charlotte,
sure, the only for sure team to me is Charlotte. Is that because Miami matches well with them?
Yeah, the only team that I don't see. I mean, if Miami plays any of those teams outside of Brooklyn, it's going to be a long haul. We're not looking at. I don't think we're looking at any sweeps in the NBA in the Eastern Conference. I don't think in the first round. I don't think we're looking at any sweeps. Now, Western Conference,
I mean, and speaking of that, Shaquille O'Neal said this past week, if the Lakers make it to the 8th spot, they will beat the Phoenix Suns. Thoughts?
Let's play a button game. Click the first one. That ain't it. Turn it off. Click the second one. That ain't it.
What are you looking for?
Click the third one.
What
Just
are you looking
come
for?
on, humor me. Click the third one. Yeah, that's a good one. Ask the question again. Ask the question again.
Shaquille O'Neal said this past week, if the Lakers make it to the 8th spot, they will beat the Phoenix Suns.
Go ahead. Yeah, nah.
Why is it all?
Because that hope, but
Now, hold on a second.
hope, but no,
What? You don't believe it?
no.
Why?
Oh God.
I'm saying, just say, just
You
give
know what?
Give your reasons why.
You know what?
That's a valid.
I'm gonna pass it off to you because I don't want this segment to go 30 minutes talking about the Lakers.
We got time. So here's the thing. And I asked this question because a couple of things. This is my Stephen B moment.
Go ahead.
The Phoenix Suns
Stephen B.
Stephen C.
Stephen C. I'm
You're
sorry,
Stephen
Stephen C. The Phoenix Suns have been very disrespected this season. And I'm not saying that I didn't mean that disrespected because they have no MVPs votes on their team. They had the barely made 2 All-Star. Like the coaches voted the 2 All-Stars in. So this team has been the best record, not only in the Western Conference, but in the NBA.
By a lot.
By a lot.
By a lot.
So they locked up the number 1 seed a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
They just locked up the division. They locked up the conference. Like they've locked up everything.
Yep.
And
Home court
they
throughout
don't
the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
And the finals if they go.
Yeah. So this team has been very disrespected. And a lot of NBA conversation is how disappointing the Lakers have been, how disappointing the Brooklyn Nets have been. But we really don't give props to teams who are actually doing what they're supposed to do. And I think that's one of the things. That's what I mean about as far as being disrespected this year. So the Phoenix Suns for Shaquille O'Neal to make this kind of statement, it is furthers my agenda as far as saying that the Phoenix Suns have been disrespected all year long. Now, as Kesey would like to say, LeBron James, the playoff LeBron James is another thing. Even last year, we were talking about the Phoenix Suns possibly losing to the Lakers because of LeBron James. And Anthony Davis is not going to be 100% playoff time, even if he comes back. I don't know if he's coming back. He's starting to get some contact, but even if he comes back, I don't see LeBron James has pulled off some miracles.
Listen,
but I don't know if this is going to be one.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
Okay, let's time it.
LeBron can win you a series by himself. One series. He can get you 1 series by himself, guaranteed.
But here's the thing, though.
Go back to the Cleveland years and go back to the Miami years. Go back to whatever years. If LeBron gets to the playoffs, he gonna get you through that first round automatically.
Because we hold on a second, because we are saying that.
Wait. I have to. You were done. Don't say can you finish because you were done.
No, I'm saying like
I'm
not talking about the Lakers season last year. Everybody was hurt.
No. I'm talking. Didn't the Lakers lose to Phoenix last year in the playoffs?
They did.
First round.
But you think this year is different?
But they beat Steph Curry.
That's cool. I'm not in denial. You are.
I'm not in denial.
I
said almost every season.
So is Phoenix better this year than they were last year?
Same team.
It's the same team. But did you forget the Lakers was up 2-0 before Anthony Davis went down?
I did not forget that.
I didn't forget that. That's
okay,
a good point. That's a good point. But Anthony Davis, is he going to be back for the playoffs?
He'll be back for the playoffs.
He won't be 100%.
You only need a half
That's
a man with LeBron James.
That's a good theory.
You only need a half a man with LeBron James.
Man,
I'm not agreeing with his Anthony Davis.
I'm going to blow from the TV, and Anthony Davis going to sprain his ankle.
They can put you on the roster, and the Lakers will get
they put me on the roster. The NBA Finals bound. You know what I'm saying? me
Lies.
and LBJ
Lies,
all the way.
No, he's talking about 2K. You know, they got that tournament.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's like total video game.
You know what? That was great. That was hey, you know, a flamer's a flamer. And Dre, you all right, I'm gonna let that ride because that was hot. It came in there hot.
I'm just saying, man.
I think that to me, be honestly, here's my thing about that. LeBron James is gonna be so tired from the play-in tournament. I don't see it happening. Because like we've already met Kesey, when it was just me and you here and Dre left a stank,
what?
You know, when you chose the Bucks game over us, remember that time? You remember that? That was a couple weeks ago.
I bet you if y'all had tickets, y'all would have chosen.
That's neither here nor there.
I know he would have.
What-
Because in fact, he was on call.
hey,
Your
hey.
Your banishment was still on. So
don't
And if it was
don't throw me into your wrath.
exactly.
So you went the game
Came where?
to the Bucks game that day. I went.
What
If
game?
I had an extra ticket,
What game?
the podcast I missed.
No,
Lies.
I told you I wasn't missing the podcast.
Exactly. Thank you,
Okay,
Keith. Dedication.
You
man.
don't
I
remember me
appreciate
telling
that.
you that?
Listen.
Dedication.
If
man.
that makes
Hey.
you feel good, I got a blank check for you too. If that makes you feel good, I got a
believe you,
blank
Keisha.
check.
I believe you, Keisha, but thanks for the dedication.
Well, because literally, I would be like Michael Rappaport, like 30 minutes before the show. Dre, what's up with that ticket?
Pull the message I was in. Pull the message I was in. You want to go there? You filthy mother.
He's gonna put this.
You filthy mother. Shut your mouth.
Oh man, but so my thing about that is Phoenix. I don't know, but I will say this: Memphis, because we're like the play-in tournament is for 8th or 7th seed. The Lakers make it to the 7th seed. I can see them beating Memphis.
I can see them beating Memphis more than I can see them beating Phoenix.
No,
You know. Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing.
No.
Hold on, Keisha, real quick.
Memphis will beat the brakes off of them.
Without Morant?
With or without, because they won more games without him than they did with him.
So you have more faith in the Memphis Grizzlies beating the Los Angeles Lakers than the Phoenix Suns with Chris Paul back. Phoenix that has destroyed the Lakers all season. Phoenix that's 60 and 14.
But see, you got to remember, it's certain things that bring certain things out of players.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold that thought. When the lights are on, because we've seen it this season, LeBron can't go off.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. But
Because there's no reason Lakers should have beat Golden State.
But do we
reason?
Do we trust Westbrook and Davis to be? Wait a second. Here's why neither of you make any sense.
What?
Because you both said Phoenix is going to the NBA Finals.
Hey, we're having a conversation here about something totally different. Bro.
No, you're not. Because if Phoenix are going to the NBA Finals, that means they can beat anybody you put in front of them.
Well, I don't.
No, remember he only gave us a choice of two teams on each side. Remember?
Okay, but if the Lakers play,
the Lakers wasn't included in that.
Remember? But if the Lakers play Phoenix and you pick Phoenix to go to the finals, that means you believe Phoenix can beat the Lakers.
I'm being devil's advocate here. Okay, so LeBron James, I'm saying, is on another level at some times.
Wow, you're giving LeBron glory. You praising LeBron. That doesn't happen a lot.
Y'all put this LeBron hater label on
That's
me.
because you are.
I'm not a LeBron hater.
You are.
I'm a realist.
You're like Skip Bayless when it comes to LeBron.
There we go.
And the Packers.
You don't want to have a Packer conversation because y'all off season was horrible. But anyways,
off season ain't even over yet. So just keep your mouth quiet.
Okay.
And hope that y'all win some games this year.
Right.
Okay?
Shout out to Dak Prescott for having a terrible season already and it ain't even started yet.
You know what? I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait to next
Shout out to
year.
Aaron Rodgers, $50 million man.
Shout out to the Cowgirls.
Shout out to Aaron Rodgers beating y'all over there with that contract. I don't care who I'm playing with.
He gonna pass the ball to himself, right?
Exactly.
Rodgers.
I don't care who I'm playing.
He sure ain't got nobody to throw to.
Anyways, it's
back to basketball.
Back to basketball. But what I'm saying is, we all have seen LeBron James kind of go ham this season.
Mm-hmm.
So him, because if we look at the Western Conference as far as the play-in tournament teams, we got Minnesota, we have the Clippers, and we have the Pelicans. All three of those teams have beat down the Lakers at least once, maybe probably twice. So, but again, when it comes to when LeBron James has another level. And I think when the lights are on, because even though LeBron James don't say nothing last week, I talked about a little slick comment that Anthony Davis had, and then the rebuttal from Devin Booker. You know, we all had a fifth, we all be drunk, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I think that LeBron James, even though he didn't say nothing, he heard it. And so his ideal, to be honest with you, his ideal is to play Phoenix. That's what his ideal first round is to play.
Wow. So do you agree with Shaq's commentary? If it's the Phoenix Suns, and go on record, if it's the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Lakers, Zeke, who do you have coming out that series? Wow, and we're getting into our playoff preview, but you almost have to. But go ahead.
I mean, we're just talking about this situation
You good.
with the comment. I think that
Who you
I
got?
think there's an opportunity. I think there's an opportunity for the Lakers to pull it off.
Don't you like to accuse us of dancing around? Because you
What?
just Holy Ghost shouted, boy. You you just Holy Ghost shouted.
Because I know what you're trying to do, Dre. You're trying to push me in the corner. You're trying to paint me in the corner. You're trying to push me in the corner. Okay?
It's your script.
And I answered the question. I answered the question.
Answer the question. Lakers or Phoenix?
And what I said was the Lakers have an opportunity. They have an opportunity to beat the Phoenix Suns.
Da, 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 da.
He dancing around the question worse than I do.
Man, that was Holy Ghost dancing, boy. Kesey, what you got? If it's Phoenix and the Lakers, do you agree with Shaq?
I agree with Shaq if Anthony Davis plays. No Anthony Davis, Phoenix wins. Anthony Davis, the Lakers win.
So you agree with? Okay, go ahead.
So is that still dancing around it?
A little bit.
It is because you both picked Phoenix to go to the finals, and that shocks me that you guys are now saying that the Lakers will win. So that means you don't think.
But you're talking about a whole nother animal. You're talking about a whole other animal.
I'm saying because you're right. In past episodes, we have talked about the Phoenix Suns going to the NBA Finals.
In fact, you've said the Lakers weren't going to make the playoffs at all.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I don't remember saying.
But
that,
now you see the Lakers. But now you're saying the Lakers can beat Phoenix. When
The
you
Lakers
said they
have been
weren't
in
going to make the playoffs.
the Lakers have been a horrible team.
You see what I deal with, Tom? You see what I deal with?
See what you deal with.
You see what we deal with?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying y'all flopping like politicians.
How is that flopping?
How's that
Because
flopping?
we were having a discussion about a topic, and you brought up predictions that had nothing to do with the topic we're talking about.
Yeah, it does. Because
it does not.
Yeah, it does.
It does not.
I'm about to tell you why it does. Can I finish that?
Please
No.
go ahead.
We don't
Okay,
want
all
to
that
hear it.
screaming you doing?
We don't want to hear it.
Well, you gonna hear it.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't have to hear it.
Unplug his mic. Get out then.
Well, don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you, mother.
So, if you both pick Phoenix to win the championship, regardless if that's the topic or not, how can you now, or to come out the West, you both pick the Bucks. We all picked the Bucks to 2P, but you both pick Phoenix to come out the West. How can you now say the Lakers will beat Phoenix if you pick them to come out the West?
I said there's an opportunity.
Well, you're both wrong. The Los Angeles Lakers play the Phoenix Suns. They will get ran at.
4 straight.
They're not going to get swept. It'll be a competitive series, but Phoenix right now is the team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix is the team to beat, and I didn't see that. I still have Golden State coming out the
only
Western
team
Conference.
to beat is
The
the
Bucks.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Because they're the champions.
There's no team to beat besides
Okay.
the Bucks.
In the Western Conference, the Phoenix Suns are the team to beat.
No. Let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because all that don't matter. You could have had the best record and won at whatever they won. At the end of the day, they went home packing like everybody else without a trophy.
Just real
We
quick.
said the West, bro.
The
It don't
West.
matter.
Okay. So you got the Lakers over the Suns. You got possibly the Lakers
I
over
said
the Suns.
opportunity.
I said Lakers with Davis, they beat the Suns.
They better.
Lakers without Davis, Phoenix Suns win.
Wow. I hope they get it because I can't wait to see it. It'll be good for good basketball.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be really honest with you. Let's say the Lakers did beat Phoenix,
Mhm.
from that point on, I think the Milwaukee Bucks have it in the bag. From that point on, because if the Lakers beat Phoenix, I don't see nobody. Whoever they play second round, they're gonna get ran through.
Yep.
Then it's one of those things where like, oh, we gonna win it. That's it.
I
Book
think,
it.
I think our biggest competitors will be Brooklyn and Golden State. I think that's the biggest
For the
matchup.
Bucks.
I think those are the two biggest problems for the Bucks.
That was the question that we had. Who will be in the finals? Golden State and Phoenix, or the Bucks and whoever else they
Brooklyn,
Miami.
Brooklyn, you said, yeah.
Brooklyn.
So that's how we got on picking Phoenix. Nobody actually was saying like I'm rolling with Phoenix, but yet you wanted to throw that in our face that y'all pick Phoenix. But the question was, who do you pick, Phoenix or Golden State?
Go listen
That's
to
what you said, right?
Go listen
Was
to
that the question or not last week?
Go listen to the first episode of season 2, dropped on October the 28th. The question was, pick your predictions for the NBA Finals. You said the Phoenix Suns versus the Milwaukee. No.
You going back all the way to October?
Well, because y'all flip flopping. Y'all some flip floppers. Now the Lakers can all of a sudden. It's flip flopping.
Because I had the Lakers back in October.
No, you didn't. You said Bucks and Suns are going to repeat for the finals, and I said Golden.
You sure about that,
bro? It was the same episode we talked about. Who we thought was going to have the best record.
Somebody run the tape. Run the tape.
Because I said
right now.
Hold up. Because
I've had enough of this campaigning for me. Run the tape.
Because I said Golden State will have the best record, and you both said Phoenix would have the best record and go to the finals. Y'all picked them. So now all of a sudden the Lakers can somehow come and beat Phoenix? I don't see it, but
I said playoff LeBron.
My thing is this. Here, first of all, that's probably. I mean, Dre might be right here.
I'm right.
I'll say this. Right. I have no problem being wrong.
Me either.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
That's all.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah,
God,
you would never admit that.
That was the whole point of you going back and listening.
I've always said many times I stand corrected on this show.
Not enough.
Learn how to say the man name.
What man?
All of them.
Hey, y'all know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. The white boy, Dragon. You know who I'm talking about. I mean, speaking of the disrespect to Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker, MVP.
No.
No.
That's the second time this episode we said it at the same time, bro. So we're not beefing too hard.
Yeah, we still beefing. Oh, we still beefing.
So
keep your hands off my stuff.
You said no.
No. Because he's not having a better season than Giannis. He's not having a better season than Joker. He's not having a better season than Embiid. He's not even having a better season than DeRozan. Okay. Booker's balling, but he's not having a better season.
He's not their horse either.
He's not what?
He's not their horse.
No.
Who is? Chris Paul. Okay. With that being said, Chris Paul being out for like a month by 8 weeks, 6 weeks.
Why they bring him back? They should just shut him down and let him get ready.
Nah, you gotta let him get in some.
No, you gotta get in shape. He gotta stay in shape for the playoffs.
So, my thing is, he's held that team down. What?
What's the name calling? You've been watching Home Alone too much, man. You keep calling me a filthy animal. Jeez.
That is where I got that from. That means you watch a lot of TV.
I mean, that's what the movie was known for when we were growing up. Keep the change, you filthy animal. That's what it was known for. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Why y'all say no like
Kevin
that?
Being lost in New York.
That's the second one. Keep the change, you filthy animal comes from the freaking movie.
Yeah, you watching too much.
Dude, it's like keep going. Keep making the case for Devin Booker. I would even say Jason Tatum makes a better case than Booker, but go ahead.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
It took Tatum too long to get to where he at.
But Tatum is the reason that Boston is playing at an elite level. Would we agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that's all.
I mean, my thing. In
fact, Jason Tatum, in the NBA ranking, and I didn't even know this. I just pulled it up. Jason Tatum has moved up, and Luka has moved down, and Joker has moved up. So right now, based on NBA, is Joel Embiid has the best chance at winning, Joke, and then Giannis, and then Jason Tatum.
How is Giannis third though?
I don't know.
Because Giannis.
Who is the prediction? Who does these votes?
The NBA writers. But if you go ahead, my bad.
I was just gonna say, well, real quick about the MVP conversation. You have to go past guys who are having tremendous impact on their teams.
Yeah.
Giannis he leads his team in scoring, but I don't know if he's the impact. I think Giannis is starting to get into that. This is just what he does. So he
the impact.
Yeah.
Man, I'll slap you out that seat, you filthy animal.
Also, you got to take into consideration, Giannis is on the championship team, so the stigma of you're gonna play at this level because you're champion kind of it's a strike against it.
But that shouldn't be considered a strike against him because if he continued to play at MVP caliber basketball, why can't he keep that going?
I was gonna before you call me a filthy animal, I was just gonna say that Giannis getting 30, 11, and 5 isn't anything that we're not used to.
So what?
So that
doesn't make him. That doesn't make him not.
We've had this discussion before. MVP is doing something out of the ordinary for the whole season.
What do you think he doing? What do you think he doing? Joker ain't doing
just
nothing.
what he does.
What is Joker doing?
Joker is holding down the team.
Joker's having his normal numbers that he normally have. And look where they at right now.
7th place, right?
6th place right now.
6.
So
when they got their full roster, they was 2-3.
Full roster 3-4.
No.
Yes, 3-4.
They was 1-2.
When they had Murray, they were in the top 3.
They were in the top 3.
I said 3-4.
No.
Okay.
So my thing about that is when you talk about Joker is holding his team down by himself, and they're in the 6th spot. Any team, you just said it. When you add Murray and you add, let's say, Porter to that team, they're a top 3 seed.
Well,
so just because they're
not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed over there in the West.
It's not guaranteed, but just because they're in the 6th spot, that's how it's more ordinary, extraordinary than the other guys. Joel Embiid is one injury short of not being MVP.
Did you not notice that we didn't have our best big man in the whole season?
Who? Lopez?
Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is our anchor. Nobody really want to admit it, but Brook Lopez is the Bucks
he
anchor.
Spreads the floor. He's a good 10-10 guy.
He can shoot the 3.
And he blocks shots.
I get that. But what I'm saying as far as
so why is that not an issue then that the Bucks have a better record and they lost their big man, and
because they still
the Denver Nuggets lost their point guard and they still got their best player.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Just like the Bucks still got their best player.
Let me ask you this question.
Right?
If the Bucks, let's say the Bucks lose, like yesterday, Bucks lost. Giannis still had 30,
Bucks
11, and 5.
Blew out.
Bucks got blew out. Giannis still had 30, 11, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
When you lost that game, what is the stat line that you looked at right away? What the other two guys do? Because Giannis is going to get his. And that's what I mean. Giannis is going to get his.
We know that.
But look at that. Exactly. So you just made my point. That he's going to get his, but what are the other two guys doing?
But that's the same thing go for Joker.
No, the whole point is Middleton and Drew have played the whole season.
They have missed a lot of games, both of them.
Not the whole season. They played over 60 games.
Brook Lopez hasn't played at all.
But
until
Brook
now.
Lopez isn't considered a part of the big 3.
Why not? That's how they won a championship because of Brook.
He's not part of the big 3. Is he part of the big 3? Yes.
They didn't trade him, did they?
Is he part of the big 3? Yes or no?
You can consider it part of the big 3, whatever you want to consider it part of the big 3. To you.
So we having a LeBron James conversation about Giannis. Because black is black.
Giannis should be
you saying it's blue.
Hands down, Giannis.
I just painted a stripe that was black, and you just said it's blue.
I don't care. Giannis should be number 1. That's all I'm saying.
Fine.
Hands down, he should be number 1 in MVP votings because he won a national championship last year.
Yeah, last
None
year.
of them did.
Done for me.
All of them got kicked last year.
So
all of them got kicked last year. So either way you want to look at it, they got kicked. And he took the trophy home, and he put on a show
for
the NBA final. And the Bucks won 4 straight. They almost might as well said they swept them.
We get it, Keisha. You're a Bucks fan. We talking about last year.
I'm talking about Giannis.
So if you look at right now, if you look at the numbers of the players that are in the race, it's neck and neck. And really, Joker's numbers are the best of the 3 other than points. Embiid is averaging 29.8 points a game, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Joke is 26 points, 13 rebounds, right? 26, 13, and 7 assists for a big man.
He averaging how many assists?
7.9.
He's starting to be Mr. Triple-Double.
7 point. That's almost 8 assists a game. Giannis averaging almost 30 a game, 29.7. He's going to get you 11 rebounds, and he's averaging about 6 assists per game.
That's only 2 assists less, and he got 2 more studs with him.
Yeah, and so here's the thing, though. Joker is literally doing it by himself.
No, he's not.
Who he got? Giannis got Holiday.
He got Aaron Gordon.
And
Monty Morris. These ain't scrubs.
Aaron
Barton.
Gordon is kind of a scrub.
Will Barton.
Go ahead. You do it. Do him. Go ahead.
All right.
I didn't want to do it, but
Go ahead.
who? I didn't want to do it.
Austin Rivers.
Now you just naming people. I mean,
hold on.
Come here.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm gonna ask you this then.
Go ahead.
Outside of Chris and Drew, there is nobody on that roster that's better than any of these players that
None.
the Denver
None.
Nuggets have.
No doubt about it.
No, but they have them,
The
though.
Denver Nuggets has a way better core.
Whoa. What you just singing Brooke Lopez's praises?
But Brooke ain't played. I'm saying
So he's not better
we're
than
talking about who been playing.
So he's not better than nobody on Denver's team, is what you're saying. Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, but that's not what you just said.
But he hasn't played though. We're talking about who has played up to this point.
Okay, I get you.
So I'm all about. I think Giannis should win the MVP just from the standpoint because he should also win Defensive Player of the Year. But they're going to give it to Rudy Gobert again. You know, he's going to own that award. Giannis, in my opinion, should be a top candidate for this award because when he doesn't play, the Bucks are twice as bad.
So true.
Yeah.
In most cases, the Bucks are twice as bad.
That's true.
Okay, Embiid. But here's why Embiid should be the runaway winner. Okay. Wow, our last episode is going to be a lot. Playoffs and season prediction.
I'm
awards.
doing one. Why am I telling you this? Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, so Embiid has done it all year in the midst of the Ben Simmons drama.
I know you're going to bring that up.
James Harden has not played to the Harden that we've expected.
He never
and
will.
Embiid is still over there holding it down, and they're still in first.
See, here's the thing. Here's my thing about
And
that.
one
Go
more,
ahead.
and I'll let you go. Let's not remember Embiid should have won it last year, but he got injured and he missed too many games.
I said, and you
It's Embiid's turn to win it.
So
He should win it.
So here's my thing about that. Everything you said, I agree with. My only thing about this is, well, if Giannis doesn't win MVP, I think he should get Defensive Player of the Year.
110% agree with you.
I think he should get Defensive Player of the Year. I think they will give it to him too, because Rudy Gobert. How many times you gonna win it? That's
Well, how many
one.
times John is going to win MVP?
See, and that was gonna go into my next thing. Like guys like LeBron James, Giannis,
KD, Steph.
This is just what they do. Like Steph shoots threes. Him having 50 points and then half of that was 3-point shots, 11 out of 13 or something crazy like that. That's no shocker because this is just what he does. And my thing about Joel Embiid is, even though he has did all those things, to me, I would just have to see. I just feel like when it comes to Joker, because his game, the thing about Joker game is it isn't sexy, it isn't cool. He makes the highlights, but he makes it off a crazy pass or something like that. So it's not like he just kind of keeps it pushing. He scores his buckets and keeps it pushing. The team that both Philadelphia and the Milwaukee Bucks, they have other guys on this team, all-stars on this team. So as far as, let's say, Philadelphia, for instance, you got James Harden. Will James Harden ever be the one from Houston? No, he'll never be that again. To be honest with you, I think his scale is leaning more towards a roller coaster going downhill.
Bucks only got one all-star.
They should have had two this year.
No, they shouldn't.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they
should have.
should've.
No, they shouldn't have. Because
Yeah,
if they
true.
would have, then if it was a fifth, then we all be one.
Oh, boy.
But they didn't.
That's going to
I'm
be a
just gonna
title
say
one
that.
of these days.
F5. I like that. That might actually be a good show.
My thing about that is, so like Philadelphia, James Harden made the All-Star team. He shouldn't have, but he made it. They still have I think his name is Mackey, the Mackey guy. They have Tobias Harris.
Who?
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Mackey.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Macklemore.
What? It's not Macklemore. I know it's not Macklemore. You know what I'm talking about, though, Keith. Stop playing.
Who? Mac who?
Maxine?
Tyrese Maxey.
There you go.
What does that got to do with Macklemore?
Oh, my God.
He said Macklemore. So
I
we
was
both
trying to
was
help
wrong.
you
The
get
name,
closer.
the name
We
he
both
was
was
saying, I
wrong.
thought he was talking about TJ McConnell again.
I thought we were talking about Ben Macklemore,
But you knew who I was talking about.
we really did.
We really did.
We really
I just had to look at the roster again and be like,
But back to your point, bro.
Thank you. Back to my
your
point. They have guys surrounding them, and they've won games without these guys.
Yeah.
So as far as Giannis being MVP, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't get it. But if he doesn't get it, I think he should get Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. So right now, believe it or not, the top three candidates that sports bettors are betting against for is Giannis. Obviously, he's in number one. They got Marcus Smart in there. They got Mikal Bridges in there, and of course, Gobert is in there as well. But Giannis, I don't even think they'll give him the Defensive Player of the Year award again. I think they're starting to look at Giannis a lot like LeBron. Like, let's be honest, LeBron has how many MVPs? 5 or 6? 5 or 6? Is it 4 or 5? Whatever it is, look it up for me. And I say that to say,
I think it's 4.
It could be argued that he should have like 8 or 9 because LeBron could have won MVP every year, just like MJ. Not to go back to the 90s, MJ should have finished his career with probably 10 or 12 MVPs.
He got 4.
He has 4 MVPs and should probably be 6 or 7 at least.
4 NBA Final MVPs.
Yep. Every finals he goes, he's going to be the MVP. There's no doubt about that. Same with Giannis. So I think the NBA is really trying to be more versatile in those awards, but the numbers don't lie. And so this year, I think the writers will have a very tough choice of picking who their finals MVP is going to be, because you can't go wrong with Embiid. You can't go wrong with Joker, especially Joker, because Denver's hanging on by a thread, and Denver's only as good as Joker is, right? If you take away Joker, Denver's a lottery team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're in what, 7th right now, 6th. The Bucks, although they're terrible without Giannis, they can maintain. We saw Chris Middleton carry us against the Hawks last year without Giannis. Okay, Denver couldn't do that once they went out without Murray. Okay, Embiid has been doing it without a second superstar. Tobias is not a superstar, right? Seth Curry wasn't a superstar. These were great role players. So I would be okay with a Joel Embiid MVP. I would.
But we're saying no to Devin Booker.
I'm saying no to Devin Booker, bro. He's not even Jason Tatum, DeMar DeRozan are all would deserve it before Devin Booker.
Now, okay, let's just I want to sit there real quick. So you said you would be okay with that.
I would be okay with Embiid.
So my thing about that, DeRozan, I think we've all kind of gave DeRozan a lot of praise this year.
He got his flowers.
This year just because he's brought the Bulls should be like a lottery team themselves.
Yeah.
My thing about that is they're what?
Although they ain't beat
0-19 versus the top 3 teams.
Yeah, they're like 2.
They went from like the number 1 CT to possibly be making in.
They're number 5.
Yeah, so they might even they barely beat Cleveland.
They might fall in the play-in.
Exactly, that's my point. So like, what does, because Devin Booker he's a quiet guy, doesn't make a lot of noise. So I guess what's the again. Phoenix Suns and their team being disrespected and stuff like that.
So I think the difference for me is Devin Booker plays like this every year. Devin Booker is playing just like he did last year. DeMar DeRozan was an afterthought. Nobody even wanted him when free agency started. Remember, he was one of the last to get signed by the Bulls because people were linking him to the Lakers. People were linking him to the Clippers and, Brooklyn and other teams. So DeRozan came in and resurrected his career, in my opinion, and is having one of the best statistical careers of his NBA career. So that's why, to me, DeRozan deserves a nod a little more than Devin Booker, because Devin Booker's not doing anything that we haven't seen.
Who needs a nod?
We're saying DeRozan. I'm saying DeRozan probably gets the nod a little more than Booker.
No.
Go ahead and disagree. That's what this is.
I'm not going to agree with that.
I said, go ahead and disagree.
I said, I know, because I'm not going to agree with that.
Go ahead and explain your case.
First off, they ain't beat no teams over 500, maybe once or twice. Twice. So that's automatic indicator he ain't really did much. They just beat some teams that they supposed to beat with a
it's a lot
supposedly
of those going around.
All-star.
Yeah.
One of our fans said, never bet against Bron or KD in a winner take all. In responding to our playing tournament.
I thought they was responding to you.
No, I just posted on 94 Feet Nation.
Yeah, appreciate it.
94 Feet Nation.
But
Kesey, I'm surprised to hear you say that, man. So since
surprised to
when,
hear me say what
you just said, because again, you're flip-flopping.
How am I flip-flopping?
I'm about to get to it. Because when we talk about LeBron in this way, you're quick to say, well, MVP is an individual award. But now, because DeMar DeRozan is climbing the ladder, now we need to look at the Bulls not beating competitive teams.
But even though the Lakers are losing, LeBron still has had 50-point games and put on shows that are like
So has
MVP players, though, right?
DeMar DeRozan has
What
put
has
on,
what has DeMar DeRozan done?
he has put on MVP performances.
Like what?
He's ranked top 5 right now for a reason. He was leading in scoring at one point. At one point. I am not making a case that he should win. I'm just saying that if you're going to consider Devin Booker, you can't take DeMar DeRozan
He's
out of
not getting a
consideration.
nod from me.
He's not going to get a vote from me if I was a voter.
So then why are you campaigning for
because
him right
he's in top 5 over Booker.
He shouldn't be.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I can name a couple other players that should be over.
Go ahead. Top 5 MVP candidates. Go ahead.
Not
right
the
now.
obvious. Besides the obvious.
Besides Giannis, Embiid, and Joker, give me the next 3 people that should be considered for MVP.
Tatum.
I would agree with that. I'll give you one while you're thinking. Morant, but he got hurt. Morant should be considered.
Steph.
No,
but
Steph has had a really good season.
I would be okay with that.
Before he got hurt,
I would be okay with that too.
I'm sure you would.
Zeke, give us
Karl
3.
Anthony Towns.
Ladder, but Minnesota's having a good year.
I won't say better than Devin Booker.
Nah, me either.
I'm not saying we saying better than
DeRozan. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
That's what he's saying.
Just make y'all mind up. Make your mind up.
Case or Zeke, any of those players would you put in front of DeRozan for MVP consideration if they had a chance to win?
I would say Booker.
Okay.
I'll put LeBron over him if you ask me.
Of course you would.
Shoot.
You probably put Anthony Davis over him.
Nah, that fragile mother.
Before we get up out of here, the last 5 seasons, the team with the best record hasn't won the NBA Finals. They haven't even gotten to. Well, they've gotten there one time. So the Houston Rockets, they lost in the conference finals.
Yep.
Milwaukee Bucks, they lost in the conference finals.
Yep.
Then they lost the following year. They had the best record. They lost in the conference semifinals. Then the following year after that, it was Utah had the best record.
Have you ever thought that the Bucks should maybe have a 3-peat, bro? Because we should have won in the bubble. We should. You know what I'm saying? Like, has that ever crossed your mind, fam?
It has.
How you think that matchup would have been the Lakers and the Bucks?
Dude, that's what we all wanted. That's what it should have been. You talking about the bubble?
Yeah,
that's what it should have been.
That's
the bubble year, the Bucks are supposed to win it.
I think
and they had the league best record that year.
That's what I know.
If they wouldn't have got to if it would have been the Bucks, I think we would have won. I think we would have beat Lakers.
Me too.
Now, that would have been something to see because that would have pushed Giannis to a whole different level. Because being LeBron in the finals is something you can just kind of put at the top of your resume.
Oh, you can submit that legacy.
But listen, beating KD took him to another level.
Oh, it sure did.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was a half a toe or a big toe. It sure did.
Beating KD took Giannis to another level.
But the thing about beating the KD, just the reminiscing, is that the Brooklyn and all it had was KD. They didn't have Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing about it is it's always something.
Yeah, but that's because we're never satisfied.
Yeah, that's true too. But like when we beat the Phoenix, there was no excuse.
None.
Except for what? What was the excuse?
Chris Paul should have been ejected.
So it would have been the
that
toe.
flagrant foul.
It should have been easier.
It should have been the toe. It was the toe thing. That's when everybody
KD.
talking, the KD. Thing.
But he picked the shoes.
Nobody put no gun in his head. Said, "KD, you gonna wear these big?"
But
shoes
I'm saying
today.
if you beat LeBron, there was nothing because Anthony Davis wasn't hurt. There was no injury. Like it was mano y mano.
But KD is an NBA champion too.
Yeah.
So beating him took Giannis to another mindset. And then coming on and playing Phoenix, my mindset would be like, ain't then one of them got no championship. So this is mine. That's how I'm thinking.
I feel like
and I just beat KD.
Yeah.
I'm thinking when I get to Phoenix, oh, this is mine.
And I was that too, but I feel like if we beat Phoenix again, let's say we were to meet at the NBA Finals again, we beat Phoenix again, there's nothing you can say about the Milwaukee Bucks but sing our praises. Because this will be a Phoenix team who is experienced now. They've been here. They know what we bring it to the table. We know what they bring it to the table. And just like when Jordan won his back-to-back, I think it was a Utah back-to-back, So
It was.
it would be
was.
one of those things where like there's nothing you can say, and you have to give Milwaukee their praise, and it won't be a toenail, it won't be none of this, it won't be none of that.
So if the Bucks do two-peat, do we become a destination for other superstars or not?
No,
I think we do.
I don't.
You don't think so?
I
If we
don't.
two-peat,
I don't.
because just think
I don't.
about Golden State.
Here's why. And
When they won that second one, KD was like,
So, God, why we have to bring that up? So here's the difference.
We're not gonna turn it down. We're not gonna turn it
Here's the
down.
thing. Milwaukee, as much as we love our team, we have a superstar in Giannis. Milwaukee's cold. You know what I'm saying? Milwaukee doesn't appear attractive.
New York is cold
New
too,
York
but
is
But
cold.
New York is a big market. You know, the money that a lot of those players made, they made the most money from endorsements and just having the Christmas Day game.
So why we can't make the money?
We can make
It's
the
becoming
money.
a bigger up and coming city, and we right on the border of Chicago
So I'm saying, who would you
or
get?
Illinois, I should say. Don't say
Yeah.
Chicago.
So what we're saying is, Kesey,
I think. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
what we're saying
What
is
you're saying.
what you're saying?
who's leaving the Bucks to allow another major name to come here?
I don't say.
Are you still on that get rid of Chris Middleton train?
We're gonna have to get something for him while he's still hot. We win this year, we got to.
Let me tell
So
you.
you
Whether
still
winner-
on the train?
Win or lose, we got to get something out of him.
So you want Middleton gone?
First
I
of all,
don't-
Hold up.
I don't-
No,
let him-
hold on.
Don't let him paint you in
Let
a
me
corner.
finish.
Don't
Let
let-
me go.
Let me finish.
Let him go.
Let me go.
Get him back.
It's not. I don't have anything against Middleton, but I'm thinking long term.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's okay.
In the moment, Middleton is great, man. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Middleton is clutch too.
He is.
So don't get it twisted.
He is.
But I'm thinking long term, like getting another younger player. Because Middleton maybe only got 3 or 4 in him. Solid years, I'm saying. Where he
Go ahead.
can do what he's doing right now.
Do you want if you were the Bucks GM and they said you gotta get rid of one, are you getting rid of Middleton or Holiday?
Middleton.
Middleton.
Agree.
Who you getting rid of?
Oh, Middleton. If it came
Okay,
down to
then. That's
those
what we
two.
talk about.
But so what I'm saying is your question was, can we attract more big talent here?
I'm saying we can attract those guys who don't mind coming off the bench. I'm not saying we're going to
That's not
attract
a big name.
But hold on a second though. I'm talking about big name. When you talking about big names, we're talking about not going to attract another superstar. And to
I'm
be
talking
honest,
about I'm talking about like bigger role players.
Oh well, that I can see. I mean,
That I can see because
PJ
I don't
Kane,
want-
Ibaka, yeah.
be honest with you, I don't want another superstar because we're looking at a Lakers, we're looking at a Brooklyn kind of situation where people are running towards KD and they're kind of running towards Kyrie. And the Lakers, I mean, not the Lakers, but the Nets got in a situation where they can't even afford nobody else. So they're now their whole team is dependent on 3 guys.
Well, the Bucks are in a luxury tax. People just don't talk about it because
Yeah.
we're a small market.
And that's
We're in luxury tax.
I mean, that's
We're not like everybody else though.
we're in luxury
close.
tax.
I know, but
We're
we're not
close.
like everybody
we're
else.
close.
We're close.
We're close, but not like
We
everybody
got
else.
3 guys making over 200 million.
We're close.
Okay,
We can have another
but
guy
we got
making 100.
something to show for it. They
So
don't.
so Bradley Beal his contract is coming up. A sign and trade for Middleton.
Well, that's what I suggested when we were talking about Middleton. Middleton,
But Bradley Beal I want 200 million.
Bradley Beal does want 200 million. While we speaking of this, let's talk about this real quick because I ain't want to talk about it. But Kyrie said, because now that Kyrie can play home games, they were like, "Hey, what are you gonna do this summer?" He said, "I can't leave my boy number 7 out there." So he's talking about re-signing him. And we've also you personally said, get rid of Kyrie. Now that he can play home games, do you stick by that?
If Kyrie can stop it with the off the court antics, you keep him.
What off the court antics?
You pick one.
I mean, his biggest one was the max mandate.
The mandate. The
So now,
Wait, no. He left to because he was having mental health allegedly. He left to do
he
a
didn't pull a Ben Simmons,
protest,
but-
and here's the thing about Kyrie. Kyrie's a very talented basketball player. There's no doubt about it. The question is Brooklyn going to offer him something? That's the question.
do you think Brooklyn should offer him something?
I don't think he's earned it. If Brooklyn wins the championship, then yes.
Well, they're not going to win it this year.
I hope you're right, and I tend to agree with you. But if Brooklyn wins the title, then of course you reward Kyrie because Kyrie is going to be a reason why they do if they do.
Okay, hold on. My question for you is this: I see what you're saying, and in any other case, I'd be like, yes, he needs to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
But Kyrie, we're talking about Kyrie Irving here.
I'm aware.
We're talking about Mr. Buckets himself.
Yep, Mr. Handles.
So when you talk about earning, he's already earned it because he's Kyrie. So are you saying offer him what, a year-to-year contract, or are you saying because
they won't do that? Kyrie's gonna get paid.
Yeah,
Kyrie's gonna get paid.
So he wants to get paid. Do you think he should get paid? You saying he shouldn't? I'm saying that mask mandate lifted changes everything.
That the vaccine,
that changes everything.
It does. If Kyrie delivers for you in the playoffs, you need to pay him.
I mean, we didn't really get into this.
You need to pay him.
To me, the mask mandate wasn't lifted because of Kyrie. It was lifted because of baseball.
The vaccine mandate, but I said it last week on our podcast. It's about money. When New York realizes that money's on the table, that vaccine, it should have been gone, okay? It should have been gone because the fact that other players can come to your state and play ball, but Kyrie can't because he's a resident was stupid. No. There are unvaccinated players that can come to Brooklyn and play. It was a residency rule, right? Bradley Beal played in Brooklyn.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so Kyrie deserves to get paid if he delivers in the playoff. He cost Brooklyn a lot of money this year with fines and everything. So to reward him just because you can now play all season and you haven't played all season, I think you give him an incentive, a small contract. We'll give you 2 years, $80 million.
$80 million?
He's going to get 40. Kyrie's going to get 40 minimum.
40 what?
Million a year minimum. No?
Because word on the street is he wants 5 years, 246.
Well, he want what?
He wants 5 years, 246.
That's not far from 40 million.
246.
That's not far. So he wants a max. He wants a super max.
Yeah, he wants a super max. That's 50. That's 50.
So he wants $50 million a year. Kyrie is not getting $50 million.
It's not 50. It's 49.2.
Is it? It's 50.
It's 50.
Is he worth
49.2?
Is he worth what?
49.2 is Keith like keeps saying.
No.
He's not. He's not worth. He put up 50 twice and he put up 60.
So
since the All-Star break, he's been averaging 38.
And fifth was
if was a fifth, we all be.
So $50 million.
It's Kyrie Irving.
Chelsea Clinton. $50 million.
It's Kyrie Irving.
No.
$50 million.
No.
50
No.
million?
No. Kyrie don't play enough for $50 million.
Next year he will.
He be hurt. Kyrie be hurt every year. So we got lucky with the vaccine mandate because we're going to see him in the playoffs now.
Hey.
There are if there's a fifth, Kyrie Irving should not make Steph Curry money. There, I said it.
He should not what?
Kyrie Irving should not make Steph Curry money.
Wow. Okay, real quick.
I said what I said.
I see what you said. Hey, I get it. Real quick. John Morant. John Morant was brought up, and he was brought up by I forgot who said it. Because I forgot who said it. But John Morant is better than Allen Iverson.
Who said that?
This was Chris Russo said.
Oh, geez.
He said Chris Russo.
He's a writer.
Well, they should revoke his.
He said John Morant is better than Allen Iverson. He's better than Allen Iverson because he makes a lot of people around him better.
Although
Iverson was not a transitional star.
Although Memphis is statistically better without him. Memphis is 17-2 without Morant.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I think like a lot of times these teams kind of come out of nowhere. Memphis is built to contend. They locked in the number 2 spot. They're built to contend. But I assume you guys don't agree with this.
I most definitely don't.
You don't agree with this at all?
No. Would you agree?
Here's the thing about Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson is a trendsetter.
There will never be another Allen Iverson.
He's a trendsetter. But if we look at his stats, it tells another story. And if I think about Allen Iverson was, besides him carrying Philadelphia by himself to the NBA Finals and losing to Kobe 4-1, that team, Allen Iverson by himself wasn't like he was one of these guys who was a trendsetter, and I give him his flowers, but he wasn't like, I wouldn't put him on my top 5. Even if we put the category to just point guards, he's not in my top 5.
Who?
Allen Iverson. John Morant still has some basketball. He has a lot of basketball to play. But
Right.
we're talking about Allen Iverson
We're
here.
talking about a guy still on the rookie contract. Come on, man.
But what I'm saying is Allen Iverson is not my top 5
For point guards?
for point guards.
I don't think he's in mine either. And I think Allen Iverson, I won't use the term overrated. AI changed the game of basketball. He crossed the GOAT. Allen Iverson was a prolific scorer. But what's with all the comparison, man? John Morant hasn't done anything yet. But Iverson really didn't do a lot in his career outside of scoring, right? And crossing you over. He didn't win in the playoffs. He only went to the finals once.
Allen Iverson changed the game, man.
I mean, there's no doubt about that.
You know why he changed the game? Do you know what part of the game changed because of him?
Go ahead.
Shorts, style,
The style, but also
culture.
Iverson's a good.
They put the zone in because of him.
Iverson is a
Teams start using the zone more often because of Allen Iverson's ability to attack the basket.
Yeah. Allen Iverson is a great player. I would agree he's not in my top 5, but I think we have to stop with the comparison. John Morant is still on a rookie deal. The man hasn't even made NBA money yet. This is his 3rd or 4th season.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let the man get in the playoffs. Let's see what he can do in crunch time. Let's see what he can do with the game on the line. Morant is a star. There is no doubt about it. But to say he's better than Allen Iverson after year 3 or 4 in the NBA is really, really premature and borderline disrespectful to what Allen Iverson brought to the game of basketball.
And I totally agree.
100%.
I appreciate that. And like I said, I like Iverson, but
two Stephen A moments in one show. Wow, look at that.
We're looking for our producer, so we're still talking. Yeah.
Who is the greatest player to never win a championship?
The greatest player to never win a championship.
To never win a championship.
It's a lot, though.
Ooh,
It's
I'm
a
about
lot.
to Google this one to see.
That's a lot.
I'll throw some names out there.
Charles Barkley,
Allen Iverson,
Charles Barkley,
Karl Malone,
Tracy McGrady.
John Stockton.
Oh,
Greatest player to never win a championship.
Did Dominique Wilkins get one?
Dominique Wilkins did not get one.
Clyde Drexler?
Clyde won. He got one in Houston.
Did he?
He got one in Houston.
So for me, the best player to probably never win a championship,
Tone.
I was gonna say Reggie Miller, but I didn't want y'all to look at me like what?
Patrick Ewing.
You know what?
I'm asking y'all.
I'm gonna go with Charles Barkley and
one. I need one.
Okay, Dominique Wilkins. I'm going with Dominique Wilkins. Going with Dominique Wilkins.
Did you
what? Dominique was a baller. Dominique, actually, let's be honest. If Jordan wasn't Jordan, Dominique, a lot of people think Dominique really won the dunk contest.
Yeah, but that's his only highlight of his career.
Bro, he was the only thing known in Atlanta. Him and Stacey Augmon, man. Okay, I'm done.
All right,
I don't want to get into it. Go ahead, Tone. You got something to say? Go ahead. Turn your mic on. You was going.
I'm asking a question.
Going after Reggie Miller.
We're going around the table.
Go ahead.
Keith, who you got? Greatest player to never win a championship.
Greatest. Okay, here we go.
The greatest. They only get one pick?
One person. Because it's a lot doing the Jordan
Okay,
years.
so then if we only get one person, I'm not going to go
You
with
said
Dominique.
That's
No, because
you said.
y'all were when I stepped out to find the EP, y'all was naming all kind of players.
Okay,
So let me go back.
Let
Let me go back. Dominique is a great player to never win a title,
Here we
but
go.
I'm gonna have to give it to Charles Barkley, man.
Go with Charles Barkley. Who you
Because
got, Keith?
before
you need some time.
Give me a second.
before Charles Barkley, before Dennis Rodman, before LeBron, not even LeBron, but before Tim Duncan, Charles Barkley was widely considered one of the best power forwards in the game.
Yeah.
And he was only 6'6".
Okay.
Yeah. That's
And Barkley was a bully. Barkley should have got it done in
Phoenix.
93.
and
Yep.
Philip- and
He
Philip.
should have got it done in 93. But I'm gonna go with Charles Barkley, man. I really wanted to see Barkley win a championship.
He was supposed to with KJ. They fouled him and didn't give him his foul, bro.
Yep.
I watched that. I cried.
I got Barkley as my
Oh,
top,
man.
but Dominique, I would like to see him win a ring.
It's
Dominique
a-
was cold. You crazy.
Who you got, Keith?
Dominique was cold. He one of the top 15 to never win.
I know who you gonna say.
Top
but
15, not top who?
I know Keith's gonna
George
say.
Gervin,
No.
Nah.
Vince
He-
Carter.
It's Pat. It's Pat.
Who?
You got to give it to Pat.
Oh,
I like Pat,
Pat got postered, so
but
He was old at the time. That don't
I
count.
also like. I got 3 players. I'm
Give me
stuck
one.
Between. I'm stuck between Tracy McGrady, Reggie Miller, and Barkley. I don't know because them were 3 great players that should have had a shit.
I'm surprised none of y'all said Chris Paul.
We talking, man. Chris Paul.
Here's
he
the
still
thing.
got time.
That
to
was
get
like
one.
Chris Paul technically still can get it.
one.
He can get it this year. Y'all literally talked about it half the show.
Yeah.
So that's the number one reason why CP is not in the conversation.
And
He
he's
can still
playing.
do it.
Yes, he's still
Okay.
playing. Okay, since Kesey's taking on that.
Go ahead, Tone. What you got?
You know what? As a New Yorker, because the Ewing years is when I joined. I definitely for Pat. The man was out here with 2 bad knees, trying to do the best he can. But I have to give it to Reggie over Pat, though.
Ooh,
Pat had a squad.
he did.
At the end of the day, Pat had a squad.
He had a squad.
They always built a nice New York team around him.
If it wasn't for Jordan, he'd have
He
had
did
to.
definitely,
He had to.
definitely.
That one for Jordan. A lot of people.
The whole
Charles
90s.
Barkley had one.
At first, the
Wait,
90s. I was
what's the
gonna put the whole
punchline?
90s on the list. That was my list.
If
A fifth was a fifth,
we all be drunk. So
Right. Literally, you put the 90s on the list. That's the list. Nobody in the 90s got anything when Jordan was here. You know, Elijah Wan and Drexler snuck in,
They really did. They really did.
but they technically neither one of them was gonna have one. But no, I have to give it to Reggie because Reggie was Indiana.
Yep.
That's true.
Okay.
He
You,
was.
you can remember maybe a few other people there, but at the end of the day, when you think Pacers, it will always be Reggie first.
And then Mark Jackson.
Yep.
Yep.
And
And
then Ron Artest. No.
And I think maybe Chris
Close.
Mullen.
Chris Mullen.
Yeah, like maybe Chris Mullen, but
No.
Chris Mullen didn't play for the Pacers.
did he?
He played
He
for
did.
the Golden State Warriors.
At the beginning of his career,
Career,
but
he-
towards the end of his
Yeah,
career, he
the
played
beginning, he
for
started there.
He
Indiana.
is not going to be remembered for the Pacers. Y'all
I'm
are
just
crazy.
that's why I said maybe.
Maybe.
I said
'Cause
maybe.
he was on.
It's
he
like
was on the
saying,
decline, but
remember
he was on
Brett
that
Favre
team.
was on Atlanta.
But you got to still don't forget about Rick Smits and them too, though.
Rick
Schmitz.
Smits.
But here's the thing, though, it wasn't
Dale
enough.
Davis.
Reggie has
Yeah.
tons and tons of highlights
He does.
proving he can get the job done.
By himself.
All he needed was 10 seconds, and he can put out a whole team.
So you remember when he beat the Knicks?
Shut up.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I literally just was literally
Is that the
bringing
game?
it up.
That's the game where he told Spike Lee to go sit.
Yeah,
Now.
he did the choke.
He scored what 6 points in
6 points in 8 seconds.
8 seconds.
8 seconds. Greatest man with 8
Now,
seconds.
And the
What-
ugliest 3-pointer I ever see.
Hold on, Tracy McGrady had one of them moments too, though.
Tracy McGrady had more. He had like
It,
nine.
it,
He had a
wasn't
lot
bigger
of
than
them.
Reggie's because
It
Reggie's
wasn't
in the playoffs.
Right. And the
That was
fact
the playoffs.
it was in the playoffs. But I feel like,
Yeah.
yes, had
was a
Jordan
single
not
game.
been Jordan, Reggie definitely would have had at least 2 rings.
That's what's up.
Because there was one year the world, like Indiana was supposed to be that team.
They were.
Yeah.
They were.
Mine is Karl Malone.
Dude,
Karl
what is
Malone.
with you in the mailman, dude? You
Hey,
are.
man, you know what?
Because-
I'll give him Carl because Stockton and Malone was.
They had a squad.
No, you just needed Stockton and Malone.
And it
and
was a
Hornacek
complete,
in the
it was
corner.
a complete team.
And
You didn't know-
Hornacek in the corner.
You didn't know who that center was.
Oh, he scored 13 in 35 seconds.
Oh,
T-Mac.
you didn't know who that center was. The shooting guard Russell. It was Stockton, Karl Malone, Russell,
You remember when Jordan did the push off on?
and it was offensive foul, but they didn't call it.
Right.
It was not.
It
It,
was.
was a tad.
That was
Either
awful.
way it goes.
Either
Jordan-
way it goes.
that's-
That's Karl Malone.
See,
That-
Karl Malone ain't gonna get no nod from me because of some other things. But
That's
we're
what he
not
did
gonna
off
get-
the
We're not
court.
gonna
That's
go there.
off
At the
the
end of the day-
court.
At the end of
It
the day,
doesn't matter.
Take care of your
at the
children,
end of the
baby.
day, though, at the end of the day, this conversation we're having right here is the number one reason why I will always put Jordan over LeBron. And this is no trying to get you started or anything, because there are so many people
You
who
sure
are
about that?
labeled as
Okay.
Hall
Here
of
we go.
Famers who can never get a ring.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Charles
Leave it there on
Barkley.
Kesey.
I
Leave it alone.
I honestly, I feel bad for Barkley when Shaq and Kenny be going in on him for not being a champion on
I don't feel
inside the
bad for it.
NBA.
He's over it.
I mean, he's over it, but it's like that's the only thing you can say about him is that
Yeah.
he
That's
wasn't
true.
a champion.
I mean,
He's
that's
a
the
Hall-
only thing-
he's
that's
a
the only
Hall
thing you
of
can say about
Famer.
Karl Malone.
He's a Hall of Famer, but he doesn't have a ring.
Because Kenny the Jet Smith, as great as he is on Inside the NBA, he's clearly he's not even to have him sit and talk about greatest players and you're sitting next to two and you're not one. That had to make you feel some type of way.
Yeah.
But I got a ring,
And
That's
that's
two rings.
and that's the answer he can always give that Barkley can't.
Yeah, and many
Kesey,
others.
you gonna still sit there and not say nothing, or you
I'm
got
I'm
one?
just gonna let it ride. I'm gonna let it
Kesey
ride.
said he picking three, and since he picked three,
Mine's okay.
Come on, man. Don't
I'm
do
gonna
that.
have to go with. I'm gonna have to go with Charles, man.
my
All
man.
right, cool.
I gotta.
I
go
respect.
Charles.
Don't get me wrong. I
Hey,
have nothing
whoever
but
you-
love for
because
Charles.
Whoever you pick is
watching-
not wrong.
Because watching Charles back in the day, dude, when I was growing up,
He was.
Charles was
He was a bully.
filthy. He was a filthy animal.
Remember
That's what you
Our boy Danny Jones, we used to call him Charles Barkley because he used to
Dude.
try to play basketball like
Charles was the
Barkley.
originator of the bully in Phoenix.
Of the bully.
That
The bully.
bully
He
ball.
can-
like,
he can shoot from
He
anywhere.
would grab the rim and he was the first one to start throwing elbows to clear
Yep.
you out.
He'll fight anybody. He'll fight anybody.
Shaq.
I bet he won't
Anybody.
now.
No, he's too old now.
No.
And he played next alongside Dr. J, man.
Man, he's
Yeah.
all. He did. He came in the league against Jay.
Mhm.
So it's been another episode of 94 Feet Podcast. It's your boy Big Zeke again. I'd like to thank my brothers Kesey and Dre. You can find us in everywhere you can stream your
You can find
favorite.
us everywhere and everywhere you can what?
You can stream. What you mean? I said it right.
Y'all got
Listen, good people.
You can find us anywhere you can stream your favorite podcast. You can also find us on all social media networks except for TikTok because we are adults. You can also and you may not
Wait.
agree with us.
You
No.
can also cool.
Oh, y'all supposed to add to it.
Oh.
You sitting there not saying nothing.
Spreakers.
No,
Spotify.
it's too late.
Apple
I'm sorry.
Podcasts,
I covered that part.
Amazon.
I covered that
Well,
part.
we're covering it again. Amazon. Go
You
ahead.
covered it. What?
Go ahead.
TikTok, Snapchat,
Facebook Live, Instagram, Twitter that no one ever tweets us, man. Why don't y'all tweet us, man, at 94 Feet Podcast,
shout us out, good people.
94 FT Podcast.
Like us.
Subscribe.
Probably not.
No,
What?
no.
I forgot I messed it up again.
Come on, let's do it for real.
Come on.
Like us,
Probably not.
No.
It's
Agree
agree with
with
us.
us.
Probably
Probably
not.
not.
94 Feet Nation, baby.
Y'all child.